Welcome to the Geeks and Freaks podcast, where we bring you the latest and greatest in the world of sports. We couldn't be more thrilled to kick off this exciting journey with all of you. In this podcast, we'll dive into everything from game recaps to news and hot takes. Whether you're a diehard fan or just someone looking to stay in the loop, there's something here for everyone. So grab your favorite team's jersey, settle in with some snacks, and let's get ready for an adrenaline-packed ride through the world of sports. That is not the sound of Eagles fans this week.
Oh, no. It's not. Not at all, my friend.
I mean, it's one of those things where, at least you won the division. Everything's going well in that regard. So much
Yeah.
you can actually rest your players this week and not have to worry about injuring them.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been 12 weeks since they've had a week off. I guess they've earned a week off. I'm not happy about it. I mean, we're locked up as the number 2 seed. It doesn't matter if we win or lose. I see the point. I don't think I would rest them all the way. I think I'd play them at least the first quarter. But anyway.
We'll hold off on this for now.
Yeah.
All right, we're back after the Christmas holiday, guys. We hope everyone had a good time off and time with their families. I know we had a pretty good time around here with the holiday season. And now we're on to 2025.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year, boys. We are recording this on January 1st, actually.
Yeah. Man, it feels weird that it's already 2025.
I know.
2024 was just like a blur. There's so much happened, so much went through. It's crazy.
It's crazy how sci-fi this year feels. Because 2025 feels like it's from Blade Runner or something, and we should all be wearing aluminum foil suits and metal sunglasses and driving flying cars with suicide doors, and it's just where are my ray guns? Damn it! Where are the mutant humans that live on Mars? It's 2025. Holy crap, guys! I've seen so many movies about this year.
This is like The Sixth Sense or Fifth Element.
Fifth Element, yeah. Yeah.
I'm just a meat popsicle. That's
exactly.
All right. So to move on to QB Survivor, we had a little of off-air running of the QB Survivor. All right, there we go. Adam put up Jordan Love saying that he shouldn't be here. He should have been eliminated way before this.
Yeah.
Pete was forced to put up Matt Stafford. And I put up Josh Allen because his QBR was 28 and pass completion was 55%. Apparently, I'm the only one who felt that way. Then when it came to voting, Adam voted for Matt Stafford, and Pete voted for Jordan Love. I don't know why you guys gave Jordan Love so much hate. He had a shutout game. That was so cool. But I voted for Matt Stafford, and Matt Stafford was eliminated off of QB Survivor Island, leaving us with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and then on the NFC side of the fence, we have Jordan Love and Jared Goff. We keep keeping the scales even here.
I know. You know, the funny thing is we put in notes for all of our quarterbacks, and Matt Stafford is the only one I didn't put any notes in for because it was just like, there's nothing to say about this. It was the most generic game. Like it wasn't bad, but it was just the most generic game. No comments, no notes, just number 4. Here you go. You weren't the worst, but you damn sure weren't top 3. Like.
I love that none of us agree. Well, you two both agreed, but I didn't on who was the absolute worst. But we all agreed on who was the second worst.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just one of those things where I feel like that's like the equivalent of I'm just going to kind of fly under the radar and just kind of keep producing and just not have everyone think about it.
Yeah.
And then you look up and you're like, oh shit, we're like at the top 5 and this dude's still here.
Yeah.
He's still here. He hasn't done anything all season.
But for this week, Pete, who do you want to put up on the chopping block?
Well, not to beat a dead horse, I'm going to be putting Jordan Love up this week. No offense to him. You know, it was a hard week to pick. I mean, I think he's the only one that lost his game. Did he lose?
He was the only one?
Yeah, the only one who lost his game. Pretty much everybody had 2 touchdowns. Like, everyone had close to 200 yards or more. It was really hard to pick, but Jordan Love, $185, 2 TDs, sacked 3 times, and no rushing touchdown. We had a bunch of rushing touchdowns this week too, so that's where I went. Plus, he lost to Sam Darnold.
How dare he?
I mean, at this point in the season, pretty much the entire league is lost to Sam Darnold.
Listen, okay, I have a little bit of a problem with this one because Minnesota was supposed to lose this game. Because if Minnesota had lost this game and then Detroit had lost their game and then they tied each other when they play each other this week, then the Eagles could have been the number 1 seed. And since that didn't happen, I'm just going to be mad about it.
Adam, who are you putting on the chopping block?
I don't know if I can top that. I'm putting up Josh Allen this week. Like last week, I think he actually had a worse week than Jordan Love did. He had 182 yards, only 59% completion percentage, and he had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 70 QBR, which was the lowest of the 4 we have left. He had no rushing touchdowns, which is weird for Josh Allen not to have a rushing touchdown.
He had a rushing touchdown.
Did he have one? I thought he did.
Yeah.
I didn't think that he did.
I mean, according to Pro Football Reference, he did. I didn't watch the game.
Okay, my bad. I must have missed it when I was running through the stats.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where he won his game, but we're down to the final 4, man. Like the margins on this one are so narrow. I think he had a worse week than Jordan Love, but I also would have put Jordan Love up too. So Jordan Love was already taken. So Allen is my number 2.
Fair enough.
I'm going to put up Jared Goff because he's not Lamar Jackson.
Jared Goff. Oh, my goodness.
Pretty much Lamar Jackson was my top of the pile with a 99.8 QBR.
Yeah.
And he had an amazing he had the greatest margin of victory on the island and against a playoff team.
I love how they gave more reasons for not picking Lamar Jackson than for picking Jared Goff.
I mean, Jared Goff had 303 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's kind of hard to pick him.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns. Sorry, 3.
Right?
Like,
that's why I was saying, like, the margins on this one are so narrow at this point. It's like I mean, Lamar made it kind of easy this week, but still.
So, funny note about the Baltimore-Houston game. This game gets a scoregami of 3, meaning this was the 3rd ever time that 31-2 has been scored, and it is the first time since 1965 Dallas Cowboys beat the Giants 31-2, and that was the last time it has ever been scored.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was gonna impress Pete with pulling out the scoregami, but
Sorry.
it wasn't a unique one, so I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was important.
He just beat you to it.
We did have one scoregami this year. I don't remember what it was. That was a scoregami 01.
Yeah, you talked about it on the episode. I just forget which game it was.
Yeah, me too.
I think it was like a Bills game or something where they beat him like 56-0 or something like that. Like
Yeah.
Detroit. Like, it may have been a Detroit game, but yeah, I do remember that. We did talk about that this year or this season.
Pete, who are you voting for?
Well, I was. Jared Goff was the one I had safe this week, so I can't put him up. So I guess I'm picking Josh Allen. I probably would have picked Lamar Jackson had you put him up, but I guess I'm going Josh Allen.
All right, Adam, who are you putting on the chopping block?
Even though I had Jared Goff on my list, it was only because Lamar Jackson had that much better of a game. I'm going to vote for Jordan Love on this one.
Oh, man, it's coming down to me.
I can't vote for Josh Allen, so...
Well, it kills me, and I even called this early in the season that we're going to get to a point where it's like, you had the worst game with a QBR of 70. I'm sorry. Josh Allen, you were my worst you had the worst QBR on the island at 70. At 70?
Watch him go on to win NFL MVP, and we voted him off the island.
But unfortunately, I have to vote Josh Allen.
Yeah. All right. And that's it for Josh Allen for Quarterback Survivor.
Oh.
It's all over. My leg! Wow, that is a disturbing image.
Okay, Bobby Boucher. I love it.
Okay.
Man, and now we got winners and losers.
Oh yeah, hold up one second before we move on. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to our final three quarterbacks on QB Survivor Island. Make sure you tune in next week for the final installment where we narrow down our choices of Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, and Jared Goff. Who will be the QB Survivor? Find out next week. Okay.
That was great. Thanks, man.
Back to you, Tom.
Okay, so winners and losers. Week 16 recap. We had Adam and I both chose Packers to win over New Orleans. Yes, they did. Pete took the Cardinals to win over Carolina. No, they didn't. Adam took Raiders to lose to Jacksonville, and I took the Cowboys to lose to Tampa Bay. Neither of those happened, but Pete took the Bears to lose to Detroit, and of course, the Lions let us see that victory. And why are you jumping around? Okay. Moving on to the Week 17 recap, where Adam took the Saints to win over Las Vegas, and they just keep on disappointing.
It's New Orleans. You can't expect much out of New Orleans anymore.
But
Sure.
yeah, New Orleans win 25-10. Pete took the Steelers to win over Kansas City. You bet against Jordan, man. I'm sorry.
Man.
I took the Colts to win to the Giants. The Colts to win to the Giants.
That was a safe bet, right?
You know what's even better about that? I thought that safe bet was that I picked the Giants to beat the Colts, and we both missed.
I waited till
picks.
I waited all season for somebody the Colts could take down, and that way I could actually put them on the winning side of the fence. I worked so hard for this.
This is what you get.
It's what I get. It's what I get. And likewise, Adam took the Giants to lose to Indianapolis. No, 45-33. Who knew the Giants could score 45 points in a game?
That doubles their. Does that double their season total for points?
Yeah, probably.
But Pete took the Patriots to lose to the Chargers, and they sure did. 40-7. Oh man, that was a beatdown.
Hold on. Before this week, the Giants' highest total points they put up for a game was 18. Was 20. Oh no, 20. They had 29 one other game.
Okay, 29.
Highest. That's not terrible, actually. But yeah.
All right. I took the Texans to lose to Baltimore, and the one that we thought might have been a scoregami, but not quite. 31-2. After Week 17 is in the books, Adam is still in the lead with 22, but I'm close on his heels at 21, and Pete crosses the 500 line with 17.
Yeehaw!
Mike Tomlin territory now.
Yeah.
And this is going to be an interesting Week 18 predictions because each of us only has 2 teams left.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I know who everyone's picking. Just make it official. Adam, are you taking the Chiefs to win over Denver or the Bears to beat Green Bay?
So, I'm playing the odds here. Chiefs are sitting Patrick Mahomes this week, and the Broncos are playing for a playoff spot. So, I'm still picking the Chiefs to win, but only because the Bears are the other team. I mean, this honestly could be one of these weeks, though, where because the Packers are solidified in their wild card spot, it doesn't matter if they win or lose this game. But the Bears are still the Bears, and they're going to Bears no matter what.
Yeah.
So even with Carson Wentz starting for the Chiefs, I feel just that marginally better that the Chiefs are going to win their game than the Bears will. So I'm picking Kansas City to win this week. I don't see it happening, but I am picking Kansas City to win this week.
Yeah, you can't bet against Jordan. I'm sorry.
Jordan's
Even
not
when
playing.
Jordan's on the bench. Yeah.
Jordan's sitting. Jordan has a high ankle sprain. They ain't going to play him in a game that doesn't matter to them because they got the number 1 seed locked.
I mean, with respect, we did think that the last 2 games that they weren't going to play him, and they did. So
They made their largest margin of victory this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least now they are legitimately locked in the number 1 spot.
Yep.
They are 15-1. It doesn't matter if they lose; they'll still have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So,
all right, Pete, are you taking the Falcons to beat Carolina or the Giants to beat Philadelphia? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They already pulled an upset last week. They might do it again. They're all their guys.
It doesn't matter. Pete is not going to take the Giants to beat Philly.
The funny thing is like I didn't plan this, but I made it easy for myself. Like picking the Falcons against the Panthers, no brainer, and then picking the Eagles over the Giants is a no brainer. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that it was your 18 matchup, and I'm like, oh, I don't even have to ask. I know.
Yeah.
Right.
And what is probably going to be 2 of the biggest upsets in Week 18, I am taking the Ravens to win over Cleveland. I feel like deja vu. I feel like this has happened before.
Yeah, I think we've been here.
And the Panthers to lose to the Falcons. Even though the Falcons are fighting for a playoff spot. Because I need them to win. They're gonna lose.
I mean,
They finally benched Kirk Chains, so now they got their real quarterback playing now. So they very well could win this week, but I'm not confident coming that I'm going to win this.
man.
All right, so moving on to the elimination post-mortem. The AFC has everybody clinched except for the Broncos, Dolphins, and Bengals, in which case the Broncos just need to beat the Chiefs. Good luck. The Dolphins need for the Broncos to lose and for the Dolphins to win over the Jets. That I see happening.
Aaron Rodgers' last game, though, man.
Yeah,
And then the
also
Bengals-
Dolphins aren't starting Tua, so does that mean?
Yeah, the Dolphins aren't starting to.
So I don't know who their starting quarterback's supposed to be this week.
And then the Bengals are into the last spot if both the Broncos and the Dolphins lose and the Bengals beat the Steelers.
Yeah. I mean, I think... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I was just going to ask you guys, who do you think's going to come out on top on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I got to think that Denver's definitely going to be the one to get in. I mean, I can't even promise that they're going to beat Cincinnati, but like we were just saying, you know, Miami's not going to be playing Tua. Cincinnati's got to beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a better team. You know, I could see Denver losing and still making it into the playoffs because Miami and Cincinnati both lose as well. Honestly, like it's kind of a stumble into last place over in the AFC here.
Yeah. So according to the Dolphins report that came out about 5 hours ago, the Dolphins are actually preparing as if Tyler Huntley will start. They haven't officially ruled out Tua yet because of his hip injury, but he will be limited in practice today, but they're going forward as if Huntley will start in case Tua can't.
Yeah,
But I think that if they sit Tua and Lamar Huntley actually is their starter, I'm actually going to pick Cincinnati to come out of this.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think
really?
Kansas
You're going
City
for the
still wins their
third.
game because if Cincinnati wins and both Miami and Denver lose, Cincinnati wins it.
Well,
so I think that Joe Burrow has been playing so well lately. I think he's going to tear apart Pittsburgh this week because Pittsburgh will have a wild card at this point going in because they're going to have a wild card. I'm pretty sure that no matter what happens, Baltimore keeps the division at this point. 'Cause I think Baltimore has the head-to-head against them.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
no,
that's
it's still up. Okay, so Pittsburgh's still playing for a divisional home game. I don't know. I just feel better about Cincinnati doing this than Denver and
yeah.
Miami.
Pittsburgh and Baltimore split.
Okay. So I mean, it's up in the air. The entire AFC North minus Cleveland, it seems to me, is up in the air. But I think Cincinnati's has a better chance of pulling this out than Denver or Miami at this point. So I'd pick Cincinnati to come out for the last wild card spot.
See, I ruled out Bengals because I was pretty sure that the Broncos had a good chance of winning against a Mahomes-less Chiefs. But on top of that, the Dolphins against the Jets. I mean, it's the Jets. They're the Jets. So
I get that, but I still come back to it's a backup quarterback that is barely a backup quarterback.
You're right.
And the Jets' defense isn't bad. The offense is what's bad.
Yeah, and I mean, Aaron Rodgers is coming out and saying that it's probably his last game, so he might want to come out and have a star-studded send-off sort of thing, you know?
I can see that.
It's also hard to bet against Joe Burrow at this point. I mean, the man is leading the league in yards and touchdowns this year.
See, I'm not saying anything about Joe Burrow, but his fate is completely dependent on two other teams losing, and that's what kills me for that.
I mean, and I get that. I trust Cincinnati more than Miami, definitely. Denver is much more of a possibility with Patrick Mahomes not playing, but I could see Cincinnati sneaking in there.
If I have to pick one and hang my hat on it, I think I'm probably going to go with Pete and say the Broncos take this one with a really close second place to the Dolphins. I think it would be cool if the Bengals made it, but geez, that's a long shot.
Long shots are fun though.
Oh,
Yeah.
good point.
I also kind of struggle call it sneaking in because it really is stumbling in. I mean, you have to have two other teams lose just for you to even have a shot, and then on top of that, you got to win your game, and you're playing Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's not going to lose. So I think all three teams lose their game, and Denver gets in. To be honest with you,
Denver, that would put Denver in because of rate of ranking.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be funny. All three of them are bombs.
That would be pretty cool, actually. This is actually kind of funny. So the entire AFC North plays Saturday this week. Baltimore, Cleveland play at 4, and then Cincinnati, Pittsburgh play at 8.
Oh, nice.
Those are the only games that aren't on Sunday this week, too. Monday night game this week.
We've relegated you to Saturday.
I mean, we're in Pittsburgh, too.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's going to Pittsburgh for this final game, so yeah, we'll see. I mean, they're also Kansas City's in Denver, so that also is going to make a big difference.
Mm-hmm. All right, so moving on to the NFC side of the fence, we have everybody clinched except for the South. They just cannot get their crap together. So we have the Buccaneers and the Falcons fighting over the NFC South, and all the Buccaneers have to do is win, or the Falcons lose. One of those two, and the Buccaneers are in. The Falcons need neither of those to happen.
Yeah, because as we stated earlier, Atlanta's playing Carolina, Tampa plays New Orleans. I mean,
right.
They're both in a very winnable game. There's no reason Tampa shouldn't win this. There's absolutely none.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm excited for the playoffs. I'm excited to see what happens. I mean, it's just going to go. I mean, we're going to have it's going to be good. I really can't wait to see. I'm really excited to see Detroit in playoffs again. Like, I love watching Detroit in the playoffs. Like, last year was so much fun seeing them play.
Yeah. I'd like to see them win their division too. Kind of solidify their place at the head.
They are the head of the table.
Right, exactly.
It feels weird that Minnesota's also 14-2. Like they're also just feels like a really sneaky 14-2.
They're definitely sneaky. I'll give you that one.
Like we know they've been winning. We know they've been a really good team this year. It just didn't feel like one of those just top of the conference teams. But it felt like a really good team.
Yeah,
and it just feels weird because Detroit feels like such a better team than Minnesota does, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
All right. Moving on to the eliminated after week 16, the Saints, the 49ers, the Cardinals, and the Cowboys were all mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. And then following on week 17, we lost the Seahawks and the Colts. Gave me hope, guys. You gave me hope. I thought you might squeak out a wild card there, but maybe next year.
I mean, for as much as everyone said that the Colts looked like trash this year, to really only be out of the wild card game by a half a game, it's not bad. It's really not.
I'll take that. But they are pretty much where I thought they'd be, but I thought it'd be funny if where I thought they'd be would put them into the wild card.
Yeah.
I want them to be a 9-7 team this year. I wasn't that far off, really.
Yeah.
But we will start with the Saints, currently sitting at 5-11, having won to the Panthers, Cowboys, Falcons, Browns, and Giants. Their big thing was drafting offensive tackle, a cornerback, and giving up their number 3 to get head coach Sean Payton and their number 4 to get a quarterback, Jake Heiner. Who's Jake Heiner?
No idea.
No idea.
I don't think he played this year.
One game. Quarterback record is 0-1. He threw for 226 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Doesn't sound very good.
No.
But you know what? It also doesn't sound terrible either. Like, it's not a bad game.
Yeah,
For only
I mean,
having
that's
one
fair.
game in the NFL, that's not terrible, really.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been a lot worse. He wasn't Nathan Peterman that came in and threw 5 picks before halftime.
Oh, Nathan Peterman.
John Gruden's favorite quarterback coming out of that class.
Yeah.
Moving along to the 49ers, currently sitting at 6-10, having won to the Jets, Patriots, Seahawks, Cowboys, Buccaneers, and the Bears. They had a pretty stacked draft, having 6 picks in the first 4 rounds. But their number 1 was Ricky Parcel, a wide receiver. Played 10 games, 25 receptions, 331 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Not awful, but...
You know, I want to make the caveat to this, though. So, I don't know if you guys have read the article about it. He got shot in the chest, like, the first week of the season.
What?
San Francisco? Yeah, you guys didn't hear about this. Okay.
No.
So, like, it's like first week of the season, like, they're coming up, it's like, I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. Dude tries to rob him for his Rolex, and he wouldn't give it up, and he got shot in the chest, like, twice.
Jesus.
And then he still came back and played this season.
That's pretty impressive.
So
that's why 10 games and not 16?
Yep. That's why he only played 10 games, because he missed the first 6 with gunshot wounds to the chest.
Jesus.
Wow, okay.
That's double tough right there.
Yep, he wouldn't give up the Rolex. So they shot
Bam.
him.
All right, so I get that Brock Purdy is currently on pace for his second 4,000-yard season in 3 seasons, and I get that it's back-to-back 40,000 yard or 4,000 yards. But he's had only 20 TDs to 12 interceptions this year. I think the biggest problem with San Francisco is Brock Purdy. I think he's been found out. He's on a somewhat decent team that cannot win without Christian McCaffrey. And if you were to get rid of Brock Purdy, you might actually have a chance of making the playoffs. And if you could get a healthy McCaffrey and an actual good quarterback, you'd be a good team.
So you're trying to say Jalen Hurts is going to go out to San Francisco?
You know what? No, I'm not saying that. Jalen Hurts is fine where he is. Thank you.
You can't throw.
I mean...
See, I was thinking something a little more balanced, because you have Joe Burrow on a team with no weapons, and you have San Francisco, a team with weapons, and no one.
No
uses
weapons in Cincinnati? Did we forget about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins?
I never heard of them.
Best
They
receivers
don't
in the NFL
exist.
right now. No, Jamar Chase is. T. Higgins is like, as far as the wide receiver number 2 go, like number 1 through 3, like.
But
And their
Christian
running back's not bad.
McCaffrey-
Chase Brown put up almost 1,000 yards this season, which that's pretty good. Like, they've got weapons there. They just don't have a defense.
Saquon did that in half the season, dude. Come on now.
Yeah, well, Saquon's special, man.
Hold
Come
off on that. We're not there yet.
I know.
It's a
All right,
tease.
moving on to
It's a
the
tease. We're
Cardinals.
coming to this.
All right. Moving on to the Cardinals, currently sitting at 7-9, having won to the Rams, Niners, Chargers, Dolphins, Bears, Jets, and Patriots. The Cardinals, surprisingly, had the most draft picks this year at 12. 7 of them in the first 3 rounds.
You know what? That's great, though. Like, I mean, they needed to rebuild. Kyler Murray, as we've seen, can be a good quarterback until
Yeah.
the new Call of Duty drops, and then he just forgets how to play football because he spends all the time playing Call of Duty. But, like, I think Marvin Harrison had a good year. A lot of the rookies did.
Yep.
7-9 is a lot better than I thought they'd be this year. Like, they played a lot better than I expected them to.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they hung in for the division up until really just, a week or two ago. Like, they were in it this whole time. So I got to give them credit for that. They're building a good team out in Arizona. And it's always fun when a good team out in Arizona.
Yeah, and I mean, Jonathan Gannon, their head coach, is ex-Philadelphia D coordinator. And if I'm not mistaken, we were in a Super Bowl with him not so long ago.
So, yeah, I mean, I think they've got something good. I just think they really need to tighten down the court. Either Murray's got to stop playing so much Call of Duty, or they've got to just get a new quarterback. It's funny. I saw they put stats out before and after the new Black Ops 6 came out, and his stats plummeted after the new Black Ops 6 came out.
That's hilarious.
Like, they had their stats to back it up.
That's hilarious. That's good.
Oh, man.
And, like, I love playing video games. I'm not one to really make fun of a guy for playing video games. But if it was my job to make tens of millions of dollars playing quarterback, I'd kind of put that ahead of playing video games during the season. That's just me. Maybe after 2 or 3 years of getting those paychecks, he doesn't care anymore.
Oh,
All right,
jeez.
so moving along to the Cowboys, currently sitting at 7-9, having beaten the Browns, Giants, Steelers, Commanders, Giants again, Panthers, and Buccaneers. They were very
Bad. The word you're looking for is bad. That's what you're looking for. Because you know what? Every single one of those teams, minus the Buccaneers, had in common, are all
Losing
under
record.
500. They can only beat teams that were under 500 this year, minus the Bucs. The Bucs are a
Steelers
game
and
over.
Commanders.
Like, this is not a good team. This was a terribly coached team. We need to hit the reset for next year. I'm not saying we need to rebuild. They need to retool the defense. They need a much better coach than what we have because he's terrible.
So what are your thoughts on Coach Prime? Because, like, everything that I've been hearing is that they're going to bring in Deion Sanders. And it's like, I get whatever college team that he's with, he's, like, turned their operation around. But, like, everyone's a free agent in college. And everyone gets to choose what college they go to, and they pick for different reasons. They don't necessarily pick for money. They don't necessarily pick for notoriety. So there are, of course, people in college that are going to transfer to a school just to go with Coach Prime. So, of course, he's going to get better because of his name. That's not going to happen in Dallas. And I'm not entirely sold on him being this amazing quarterback or coach. Like, it's not like he's been completely undefeated in college or some kind of like crazy stat like that. You know, I don't know much about college football, but from what I can tell, he seems like a mediocre college quarterback or not quarterback coach. And it's like all they talk about is bringing him in. And it's like, oh, way to just like tell McCarthy his job's lost without telling McCarthy his job's lost. You expect these guys to go out and try to win, and you're just like, nah, we're going to replace him with this guy next week, and we're not going to bother paying these people, and then we're just going to pay them like a week before the season and expect them to do well. Obviously, Jerry Jones is the main problem, but what are your thoughts on primetime fixing the Cowboys?
So, I agree with a lot of what you said. He's coaching currently at the University of Colorado, is where he's coaching at now, and they were pretty good this year. They got better, obviously a lot through the transfer portal, because that's where he even said that he is going to bring in most of his players just through the transfer portal. So he wasn't really even recruiting that much because he doesn't have to.
Right.
Because it's Deion.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like Deion is a lot better suited to be a coach in college. He kind of seems to me a lot like John Harbaugh, who's out in San Diego right now. When he first came to San Francisco, everyone loved him. It was great. The first 3-4 years, that team was unbeatable. Everyone was together. his style of coaching, kicked everyone into gear. After that fourth season, though, everything started to kind of dissolve because everyone got kind of tired of his shit.
Yeah.
I feel like Dion's kind of going to be that same kind of coach, and I feel like he fits college better because you cycle players out every 3 to 4 years anyway. So every 3 to 4 years, when you're just getting tired of what the coach is doing, you're either graduating or you're moving on to the NFL anyway.
Right.
I could very well be wrong. I mean, it could be like Harbaugh, where he could be a good NFL coach as well. I'm not sure. I didn't really watch a lot of Colorado games this year, so I couldn't tell you as far as how well guys were coached and how well they weren't. I couldn't really tell you that. I do think also that he will have some sort of name recognition because it is also prime time. Prime time is prime time, whether it's in the NFL or college. I'm not saying you're going to get like top name players because that's still up to Jerry to pay the guys, which he refuses to do.
Right.
But we can't get rid of Jerry, unfortunately. I think.
I mean, you could.
At this point, honestly, bring him in for a couple. It can't get worse than it already is. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it can't get worse than what we've seen in the 2000s. Like, we saw some pretty bad 4-12 teams. Like, we've seen bad teams. I mean, at this point, I'd be willing to give him a shot. At least somebody new. I don't want a recycled head coach that isn't good anymore, like McCarthy was. Like, when they brought him in, everyone already knew he was already on his way out the door because he had known nothing with the team.
Yeah.
He had one good season, maybe two, but like, doesn't mean anything anymore. One good season doesn't mean shit. We've seen championship-winning coaches get fired like in a season and a half after they win a championship. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Results matter. And like I said, one thing I will give Jerry Jones credit for is he does stick with guys and give them a chance to right the ship. So he's not one to do knee-jerk reactions like that. So I will at least give him props for that. But I think we really, really need a new head coach at this point, and just a mostly all new staff. So, and a running back. We need a running back.
Yeah.
Just give me a running back.
Moving on to Week 17 eliminations, we find the Colts currently at 7-9, having beaten the Bears, Steelers, Titans twice, Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots. Yeah, that's my Colts. All
Hey, you finally beat the Patriots, man. You should be happy.
I know.
Unfortunately, Peyton Manning or Tom Brady were not involved in the game at all. But we do have a rare animal in the elimination. We have the Seattle Seahawks with a winning record have been eliminated, having won to Broncos, Dolphins, San Francisco, Jets, Bears, Patriots, Falcons, and the Cardinals twice.
If you start doing cardio just so you can name off all the teams.
They drafted Byron Murphy, a defensive tackle, in the first round, and their second and third round draft picks were traded to get another defensive tackle, Leonard Williams, and quarterback Sam Howell. Sam Howell rung a bell with me, but I could not, for the life of me, remember much else.
Sam Howell was the starting quarterback in Washington last year. Now he's the backup to Geno Smith.
That's right.
Like, the Leonard Williams trade's not bad. That's a good D lineman. Why you traded a third round pick for Sam Howell, I have no idea.
Well, it was Sam Howell and a fourth and a sixth for a third and a fifth. So, not terrible. Flipping around some draft picks too. All right. Yeah, it's not like a Deshaun Watson trade or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I'm looking at their two receivers here, Smith-Njigba and DK Metcalf, and honestly, like, I guess Smith-Njigba stole some of the targets from Metcalf, because Metcalf, he only got targeted 103 times this season, which is the lowest he's had since his rookie year. In his rookie year, he only got targeted 100 times. So obviously a lot more of the targets are going to Smith Njigba. I cannot pronounce that guy's last name. Because he's got 132 targets. So I mean, I guess that explains why we had a down year from Metcalf. But I kind of expected more from Metcalf, or at least have grown to expect more from him. And I don't know if it's the new receiver and the two of them have to learn how to run routes together and gel together and whatnot, or if it's Geno Smith throwing to him and not throwing to Metcalf enough. I wouldn't be shocked if that's a large reason why they're not in the playoffs, to be honest, though.
It might be. Metcalf also missed 2 games.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because, he's only got 14 games played this season. But I also think, too, because Smith and Jigba this is his second season. He was a rookie last year. So
right.
They've got 2 years together already at this point. I think it's kind of one of those things where Smith and Jigba is a better route runner and also is better after the catch than DK Metcalf is at this point. Because isn't Metcalf kind of getting old at
I think it was on like 6th season.
2019, so this will be his 5th. So he's in his 5th season. Wow, I thought he's been around longer.
It's not that long.
Yeah, not at all. But I just think it's... And it's funny because I've never thought of Metcalf as an over-the-top receiver. That's always been Tyler Lockett. The third receiver now. But, I don't know, it must just be something with Smith and Jigba and Geno Smith just either know each other better and are more comfortable with each other. I don't know. Every quarterback kind of has their preferred receiver. Everybody does. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe just with Metcalf being injured, maybe the injury also played a part in it when he came back and kind of took him a game or two to kind of get back into that shape. I'm not sure what his injury was.
Yeah.
And it's possible. And also, maybe we're also seeing kind of the cap on having Geno Smith as your quarterback. Maybe a 9-7, 10-6 is the best you can kind of hope for with the Geno Smith-led team. That might also be it. I know they had a lot of running back injuries too, though, this year.
Yeah.
Because Kenneth Walker only played 12 games, so he missed 4. And then you had Charbonnet subbing in for the other one. So I think that's also a big part of it is that you had Kenneth Walker missing 4 games right there by itself. And only put up 500 yards. So having a 3.7 average attempt is not good.
Yeah. I mean, Geno Smith is in his 11th season. I think we're hitting the twilight of his career either way. He's probably going to be relegated back to a bench for the last couple of years would be my guess.
I mean, maybe, but you really got to think he hasn't really played for like 3 or 4 years. Like he'd been a backup for like at least 3 or 4 seasons and barely saw the field.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he might have a little bit more, but yeah, you're probably right. And as we were talking about the Sam Howell trade, that may have been for the future. Have him sit behind Geno for a year or two, and then once Geno kind of starts winding down, have him replace him possibly. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to our next segment, Saquon Watch, Road to 2106. We seem to have hit a bit of a pothole in that road to 126.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
It's about how I feel. I mean, technically, Siriani said that Saquon is someone they will probably rest. But I did read that. So, for those of you who are not aware, the Eagles have locked in the number 2 seed. They cannot be the number 1 seed. They cannot be the number 3 seed. So, there is no purpose in playing their starters. The Eagles had a 5th week bye, so they're now 12 games since their bye week. So Siriani announced today that they are going to be resting and most of their starters, as well as putting a lot of them in as backups.
Just when I think you've said the
and
stupidest thing ever, you keep talking.
So then he was asked if Saquon was one of those people. The reason being is because people like me are making little charts like this one that show you how we are. Now, granted, last week against the Dallas Cowboys, Saquon put up 167 yards. And you add that to the 150 he put up against Washington, which everyone talks about his Washington game being terrible. My guy put up 150 yards, and everyone was like, Saquon was off that game. It was real weird. But, he put up 150 yards against Washington, 167 against Dallas, and that puts him in the 2,000-yard club, which means he officially has 2,005 yards. He is the ninth ever football player to reach 2,000 yards. So that's pretty cool. He is 101 yards from breaking the record, exactly 100 yards from tying the record. They took him out of the Dallas game early, and that's the thing that drives me nuts. And it's like you take him out in the third quarter. If you're going to rest him during the Giants game, why don't you play him in the fourth quarter, let him get that last 100 yards and break the record? I don't understand it. They seemed to pulled him after the play in which he broke the 2,000-yard mark. So they were clearly like, you're going to break this mark, and then you're done. And now they're benching him for a whole game, and it's really frustrating to me. And Saquon was asked about it since Siriani announced it, and he flip-flopped on it, and he's kind of back and forth yeah, I want to break the record, and yeah, it would be great to break it against New York, which it would be great to break it against New York. And then he's like, but that's not what God planned, and I'm not going to stop the team from winning. I got bigger plans, and I get it. You want them in a Super Bowl. But, if we could just look at this for a second, New York is averaging 141 and a half yards, right, of what they're allowing on the ground. And Saquon is averaging 125.3 yards. All he needs is 101. Why don't you just put him in until he breaks the record and then bench him for the rest of the game? I don't understand it. I get this game doesn't matter, but things like that matter. And at the same time, we've got to look at the MVP race. This is going to absolutely affect him for the MVP race because he's not playing the final game. Everyone votes after the last game of the season. So now it's the last game of the season. He didn't play it. He's not in anybody's mind. He didn't break any record. No one's impressed. So he's going to end up not getting the MVP. It's going to end up being like Josh Allen, and the dude's not even going to do anything in the playoffs. And it's going to be like, why did that guy get the MVP? It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm so frustrated. I get wanting to save the team. I get that they're on a 12 games with no rest.
How about new?
That's about where I'm at, man. That's where I'm at.
So here's Saquon's quote. Siriani asked if I wanted to play, if I wanted to go for it. I said on Sunday that I probably didn't care too much for it. But then when I slept on it, it's an opportunity to implant my name in football history, and I may never get an opportunity like that again. So I'm down. But at the end of the day, I don't care for putting the team at risk.
Listen, he's in the top 10 greatest seasons of all time, right? Because he's number 9 of most yardage ever scored. So his name is in NFL history. His number will probably be retired in Philadelphia. And I hope he's got 5 more years on him. Maybe he'll be able to get here again. Look at Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry put up 2,000 yards back in 2021, and he put up, I think the last time I checked, it was 1870 on the season so far, something like that. So he could even possibly get another 2,000-yard season this year if they're playing him. So he could get there again. We'll see. It's disappointing, to say the least. But hopefully it turns into a Super Bowl. Trust the process.
Yeah, I get that. So Derrick Henry this year is at 1,783 yards. So
Okay, he's
gonna
not
break
making.
seven. He's not, and they do need to play though this week because they're still fighting for the division.
Right.
So they're still fighting for that, but yeah,
He's not putting up 230.
and he's never come close. Really, I mean, this is the closest he's come to 2,000 again. He's had two 1,500-yard seasons, a 13 and an 1,100-yard season as well.
Hey, listen, we were just talking about somebody having a good season at almost 1,000. So to say he's not close to 2,000, I think that's a little inaccurate. He's closer to 2,000 than most running backs make.
Right. Now I'm just saying, like, I mean, he never really quite came close to that, but yeah, I mean, he's still put up just monster years, and I'm shocked he's been able to do it because, I mean, so far he got drafted in 2016, which was his rookie season, to 2024, so he's been in the league for 8 seasons now. He has 2,335 rushing attempts in those 8 years.
Yeah.
How this dude is still doing this, I don't know.
I'd also like to point out that his off-season house is in Dallas. Just so you know.
Just gotta rub that salt in. Just kind of,
just a little bit.
So, although this year has been his most efficient year, he's averaged the most yards per attempt this season. So he averaged less carries than he did for his 2,000-yard season. And that was even something they were talking about as far as, yards per attempt and carries. They were saying that if Saquon were to break the record this week, he'd do it with less rushing attempts than Eric Dickerson did.
Yep.
And people are like, well, why does that matter? He still took extra games. I'm like, he's still not getting it as much and broke the record.
Right.
It's actually more impressive.
Right.
It'd be different if he, had like an extra 30 to 40, 50 carries and then broke it. No. He had 2 games, but he had less attempts.
Yeah.
It counts for more, I think.
To close out the segment, I am going to put on my tinfoil hat as my coping mechanism for this bullshit. My coping mechanism is that Siriani is playing 3-dimensional chess, and he's going to hold back Saquon until like halfway through the first quarter, and then Saquon in, win the record, win the game, take that. Who the Giants? Oh,
Giants.
I kind of would love for that, but I'm pretty sure the NFL has rules against doing things like that. Like when you announce you're sitting a player, I think you have to sit a player. You can't like surprise play them in the middle of the game. Maybe you'll list him as the number 3 running back. I don't know. Like, that could work.
He's a backup fullback.
Right? Yeah, there you go.
But no, this kind of crap just infuriates me. It's there. You have these guys who are on the cusp of really breaking records and making a monumental achievement, and then you're like, nah, I'm better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
No.
What? You know how many yards Saquon put up against New York last time we played them?
Oh no,
200?
176. 176. I need a little more than half that. Like, come on. You only have to play him in the first half of the game. Like,
yeah, he might need like 6 minutes into the second half, and then just that'll be enough.
that'll be it.
That's probably just rushing yards, too. That's probably not even counting receiving yards.
Yeah. So frustrating.
I mean, this is also kind of something that's like near and dear to Tom's heart, too, because same thing happened with the Colts going for a perfect season. They decided to rest everybody
hated that.
Oh, yeah.
the season.
I was so mad. They were so close too, and then they're like, we're fine. We don't need to."
I mean, if it's any consolation, you still lost in the playoffs, and it wouldn't have mattered
Yeah.
because it
still.
would have been the perfect season.
I mean, but had they played their starters, they won that game and momentum shifted.
And if they were
Yeah.
playing for a perfect season, that's a hell of a motivator.
I agree. I think it's wrong to sit Saquon, no matter what.
I do too. I want to see him break it.
Yeah.
Hell, I
But-
might get a Saquon jersey.
No. I thought I was mad when they sat him in the Cowboys game. I was mad when they announced that they were sitting him for the Giants game, and I was just like, Siriani needs to be fired now.
At least with the Cowboys game, they waited till the fourth quarter to sit him. They didn't
Right.
sit him for the entire game.
No, but that's even worse to me. I mean, to me that was like they knew that he could get 100 yards in the Giants game, which probably would happen. But still, you just let him go and let him get as many racked up as he can against the Cowboys. Maybe even break the record against the Cowboys. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
I mean, 100 yards in this quarter would be. That's kind of asking a lot, though.
I mean, he put up 100 yards in the first quarter against the Commanders. So, he can do it.
Even if he got up to like he needed 25 or something against the Giants, that would have been even better. Just let him in there for like 10 seconds and let him go.
Here's another thing, is he's tied for the NFL record for the most 40-yard rushing touchdowns in a single season. We could easily get one more in this Giants game. Like, we could break two records in this Giants game.
and break both in the same play too.
You could do it on this exact same play. He could do all of this in a single play. No, you're not. I'm sorry. He needs 101 yards, so he would need 2 plays to do it. That is it. He would only technically need 2 plays to do it. But
And the
It's
first
the
play wouldn't
Giants,
have
so
to
I
be
could
that
see him
big.
doing it.
right. At least play him for the first series. Like that's the other thing to me. Like, if nothing else, be like, fine, you want to play, you can play the first series. If you break it on the first series, good. If not, we're benching you for the rest of the game. Will I be upset? Of course I will, but I would be less upset than I am right now.
Yeah, I've always kind of given Sirianni a lot of leeway because, well, a lot of Philadelphia fans hate him. But,
Yeah.
But now I kind of get it.
Yeah.
He needs to go.
So if he sits Saquon this week, but they go on to win the Super Bowl, is all forgiven?
Oh, of course. No, of course it is. Listen, in 20 years, I will be mad about the Saquon thing again, and I will not be, well, at least we won the Super Bowl that year. Like that. But for the next, 5 years, 10 years, yeah, I'll be forgiven. Eventually, I will never forget this Saquon thing. That'll be the main problem.
Yeah, I really wish he would have gotten it. He would get it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, moving into the final segment of the podcast, the trivia section. I would like to talk about kickers.
Vanderjerk, Vanderchoke, Vandergag. I like Vanderjackass better, actually.
Sorry, right clip. No,
Man,
actually,
you're still holding
this
that grudge.
a little bit. Actually, this entire thing was inspired by Deacon Jones, and I kind of want to throw this out real quick because it kind of made me think of Pete as well. And it's when they asked,
You mean to tell me that you invited me all the way back to Philadelphia to ask me about a lousy kicker?
What is that from?
it's from NFL Films. They were doing a special about kickers, and they asked Deacon Jones who his favorite kicker was. And he said, really?
That's amazing.
Great.
All right, where am I? There we are. So this trivia section is called "Kicking It Old School," and
right.
I'm going to give you the name of a 2024 NFL kicker, and you tell me what team he's on.
Oh, God. Okay.
Cool.
I might be able to do this.
Now, someone may call shenanigans for how these are organized. I literally used RNGesus to decide who gets what kicker.
Okay.
All right, Adam. Kaimi Fairbairn.
Oh,
I'll spell-
Fair. I know who you're talking about. Kime Fairbarn.
Yeah.
Crap, where's he at now? Seattle?
No. Pete, do you want to steal?
Jesus. Atlanta.
No, Houston.
Okay. Houston. I was just a shot of dark. I had no idea.
I will preface that these are the teams they spent the most of 2024 with. I haven't checked if there has been some shifting around.
Fair enough.
Pete, Chris Boswell.
Ooh, Chris Boswell. That's a name I know. But do I know what team he plays for? I do not. I feel like he plays for the Raiders.
No.
Damn.
Adam, do you want to steal?
Pretty sure he plays for the douchebaggiest team in the NFL, and that's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Correct. He is a Steeler. Adam, Will Lutz.
Saints.
No. Pete.
Damn.
The Jets?
Denver.
Denver. Wow. Totally off.
Pete. Brandon Aubrey.
That's Dallas, isn't it?
It is Dallas.
Look, I knew one.
Adam. Jake Bates.
Oh, is that... That's San Francisco's kicker, isn't it? 49ers?
No. Pete.
Damn it. I don't know jack shit.
Bates.
Oh, I know who San Francisco's kicker is now.
Don't say it.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I'm just going to say Washington.
No. Detroit.
Detroit. I try to picture their jerseys, and I picture his jersey in red for some reason. That's completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we didn't really see Detroit's kicker very much this season.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't they didn't bring him out at all.
Except for extra points.
Yeah, they always went for it on fourth down and shit.
Wasn't there a stretch where the Lions didn't punt a ball for 2 games or something?
Or yeah, something like 10 quarters or something.
It was some ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, Pete. Justin Tucker.
Ooh, I know that name. Justin Tucker. God damn it. I'm going to say New York Football Giants.
No. Adam.
Damn.
This is probably his last season, but he's in Baltimore.
Correct. Adam. Cameron Dicker.
Dicker the kicker.
Man. I kind of got the same thing as you pick. I picture this dude in a certain jersey, but every time I've done that, it's been wrong.
Yeah, I got to stop doing that. I keep doing the same thing.
Well, with Will Lutz, I know he used to be in New Orleans. That's why I thought he was still there, but he's not. I think Dicker. I think he's in L.A. with the Rams, isn't he?
No. Pete, do you want to steal?
Damn it.
He plays for the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he got it.
Yeah. See, so I'm a big fan of Dicker the kicker just because of his nickname. Plus, he looks like Joey from Blossom.
Matthew Lawrence, I think that's his name.
Yeah,
No,
that sounds.
not, or is it Joey
No.
Lawrence?
Joey Lawrence. Yeah, Joey Lawrence.
Anyways, Pete, Austin Siebert.
That name sounds familiar.
If it's Seibert or Siebert.
Yeah.
Seibert. So again, I feel like I'm seeing him in red and white again. And I'm going to go with San Francisco. Because I don't think we found out his kicker yet. We haven't figured out San Francisco's kicker, right? We haven't guessed that
I
one.
think I know who San Francisco's kicker is. He hasn't come up yet.
All right.
It's funny. I'm also seeing Seibert in red. I'm going to go with Washington, actually.
It is indeed Washington.
Damn it.
I've only gotten them right when I'm stealing them. I have yet to get my own action.
Adam, Chase McLaughlin.
Okay. I'm just drawing a big old blank on this dude. I'll take a shot in the dark. Patriots.
Incorrect.
All
Pete.
Right. McLaughlin. We already said Detroit's kicker, so it's not Detroit. How about the Carolina Panthers?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not anywhere close to blue and white.
Closer than mine.
Tyler Bass.
Tyler Bass. That's a name I recognize, but I was going to say Baltimore, and I know that's wrong because we just talked about him.
Does he have like a John Salmon that goes as the punter?
But
I'm gonna keep on this theme and I'm play San Francisco because one of these days it's gonna be right.
Unfortunately not. Adam.
Damn.
Okay. Tyler Bass. Again, no clue. I'm kind of shooting in the dark. Minnesota.
Buffalo. Adam, Jason Sanders.
Jason Sanders. Is that Primetime's illegitimate son? I'm just assuming he's white. I mean, he's a kicker.
Oh shit.
Sanders. You know, it's not Denver. We've already done that. This kind of feels like a Miami kind of dude. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Correct.
There you go.
Pete, I'm going to butcher this name. Young Ho Ko.
Young Wei Koo. And he got traded this season, mid-season. He used to be on the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm going to give it to you there because I didn't know he got traded.
I'm pretty sure he got traded mid-season. So his name is pronounced Young Wei, but it is I think it's Korean, so it's spelled Young Ho. It's just like Young Ho.
For some reason, he's like crazy popular.
Oh, well, 'cause he's really good. Well, he had an off season, which is why he got traded mid-season, or maybe let go or whatever. But he is actually a really good kicker.
Adam, Daniel Carlson.
That name really does sound familiar. Carlson. This sounds like this is going to be the Raiders kicker.
It is the Raiders kicker.
Oh, there you go.
Pete, Joshua Carty.
Carty?
Karty.
Yeah, Carty. Carty. I don't know. I that is not a name I have ever seen or ever heard before. I have no idea who it is, so I'm just gonna say San Francisco again because one of these days it's gonna be right.
Unfortunately not. Adam, do you want to steal?
Carty?
Yeah, Karty.
I'm going to go with just a rando team we probably never really watched this season. I'm going to go with the Panthers.
It is actually the Rams.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. My second guess was Seattle, so I was not anywhere close.
You're very close. You're on the sea, the West Coast.
West Coast, yeah.
Adam, Jason Myers.
This is a name I know I've heard, but I cannot remember where I've heard this name from, like which team. I want to say it's either Indianapolis or the Titans. I'm going to go with the Colts.
It is not the Colts. Pete.
You're saying Indianapolis or the Titans. I was thinking of an Ohio team.
Yeah, it could be.
Myers is the last name.
Yeah, Jason Myers.
I'm going to stick with it. I think he is in Cleveland.
Seattle Seahawks.
Jesus.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Pete. Jake Elliott.
Oh, Philadelphia.
That's the one I was like, they're going to give me crap about this one.
You gave me Dallas and Philly. I'm just saying.
You know, I didn't know if he was still Philly's kicker or not, to be honest. I knew he had been. I didn't know if he still was.
Yeah, he's had an off year this year. It's not Mr. Automatic like he's been.
Adam. Jake Moody.
San Francisco 49ers.
There it is. All right. Pete.
Gay!
Matt Gay.
Oh, God. Matt Gay. What team is he on? Is he on the Steelers?
No, not the Steelers.
Not the Steelers.
The
Adam.
Steelers.
Oh, did we? Damn.
Yeah, it was Boswell.
Oh, right.
Well, I already said San Francisco, so that kind of rules that out. Tom had to stand up. He's done. Let's see. Minnesota.
It is actually the Indianapolis Colts.
You know, the Colts were actually my second choice. I don't know why I went Pittsburgh first.
And I have the soundboard all queued up for when that man retires, and I'm just going to play.
So long, gay boy.
All right. Adam. Blake Group.
I am Group.
That's the same thing I thought.
Interesting. We got too many kickers in the league. I don't know.
It's only 32, man.
I'm going to go with Carolina.
No, it's not Carolina. Pete.
What was the person's name again?
Blake Group.
Group.
Grupe.
I am Group. Did we guess the Saints yet? Let's go with the Saints.
Not correctly.
Not yet.
Not correctly.
So what was that?
The Saints is my guess, officially.
It is the Saints, correct.
Oh, hey, look at that. That was a total guess.
Good job.
All right.
Now, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Folk.
Nick Folk. Okay.
Wow, I didn't know he was still around.
I didn't know he was still around either. I know he used to play for the Jets. I don't think he plays for the Jets anymore. I know he played for the Cowboys for a while.
Yeah,
Is he playing for the Giants currently? That would be kind of funny. I'm going to go with the Giants.
Not the Giants.
Not the Giants?
I
Okay.
think he's actually might still be with the Jets. I'm going to go with the Jets.
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans. Oh, wow.
The way you said no, I'm like, oh, it's the Jets, isn't it?
I just thought it would have been funny he ended up giving me Philly, New York, and Washington. and New York.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious. Adam. Evan McPherson.
McPherson. Evan McPherson.
I know that one.
So we did Tennessee. You know what we haven't done yet? Jacksonville. Give me the Jaguars.
No. Pete.
Damn.
I know this name for sure. Is this one the football giant?
It is not. This is
No.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
All right, Pete. Joey Sly, which sounds like such a gangster made-up name.
Oh man, Joey Sly. God. Let's go with Cleveland.
No, Adam.
This feels like such a New York or Boston name. Like, it just gives off that East Coast vibe. I'm gonna go with Patriots on this.
It is indeed the Patriots.
Nice.
Pure shot in the dark. Oh yeah, and Younghoe Koo did not get traded. He's still in Atlanta.
Oh, he is still Atlanta? Okay.
Yeah. He was on injured reserve.
Oh, okay.
Poor
That
guy.
makes sense.
Adam. Eddie Pinheiro.
Pinheiro?
Yeah. Pineiro.
You know what? I'm just gonna go back to the well. Panthers.
It is indeed the Panthers.
It finally worked.
And for our final kicker of the game, Pete. Harrison Butker.
Harrison Butker.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no. I'm supposed to know who this is. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Buckner.
should.
We gave you a lot of grief about this on the Christmas episode.
On the Christmas episode. Oh, shit. Man, I can't even remember the Christmas episode now. New York Giants?
Incorrect.
No.
Adam, do you want
He
to
plays
steal?
with the one and only Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City.
Oh, yes. Okay.
He was the red jersey for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I wasn't sure if he was going to be if he would be the one for the Chiefs because he missed like a good part of the season.
So, final score, Adam at 9, Pete at 5.
Yeah. The way the world should be.
Guys.
All right, I think that's going to be it for this episode, unless you guys got anything else you want to add at the tail end here.
No.
I have two real quick. Congratulations to Caitlin Clark for making Time Magazine's 2024 Athlete of the Year. Way to go. And if you have a chance to check out the Steph Curry amazing buzzer beater against the Suns, I highly recommend it. Does a
The fadeaway
dribbling around.
floater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He did a round-the-back dribble between three guys and shot over the fourth to make the buzzer beater. Now,
Oh, wow.
you may say that it didn't matter because they were already winning and that shot didn't mean anything, but it was still pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, I did see that one. That was wow. That blew my mind on that. But yes, also I will say congratulations to Caitlin Clark for Female Athlete of the Year. That was honestly
Oh, yeah.
much deserved. It honestly didn't surprise me either. It really didn't. I kind of figured she was going to win that one, and it's not the first one. I don't think either. I think
Yeah.
we got more coming.
For sure.
So, all right, guys, that's all for today, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Geeks and Greeks podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, and Amazon. Until next time, may the coin toss of life ever be in your favor. Later, guys.
Go Birds.